Good evening. I am your host, Adrian Maddox. Together, we will journey across the cosmos and search for some of the
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Retro Sci-Fi Nights at the bar at the edge of the universe, the show where we have a few drinks, kick back, relax, and listen to some old retro sci-fi. And tonight, we are going to be listening to two separate shows, as usual. The first one is called Courtesy, first aired August 18th, 1955, based on a story by Clifford D. Simak. We're familiar with him on the show. And the second show will be Bad Medicine, first aired July 10th, 1956 by Finn O'Donovan. Have not heard of him, but hopefully it's a good story. No idea. I do know that Clifford D. Simak was pretty good, so I have good expectations for this one, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get this started here. Let's see. And there we go.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4.
Oh, we're just going like
3,
right into it this time.
X minus 1.
That's just how the download was, the MP3, I guess. All right, so I've got my oh my god. Holy crap. Oh.
From the far horizon,
hold on a second.
unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future. Adventures in which you'll live.
I always forget how loud that is. I can't even hear myself think. I don't know how, but my volume always gets set to max, and I can never remember that. I I have to turn it down on my microphone. So I'm like furiously just tapping the volume button on my computer, and it's just not working, and I'm just going deaf.
Tonight's story, Courtesy. This is the story of the second expedition to the planet of Landro. I'm recording it for any future expeditions which might land on this godforsaken sphere, in the hope that they may learn from our tragic example. As I write,
yes, I'm drinking White Claw.
There are 2 of us left. 2 out of an original complement of 180 men. One of
Only
us,
2 left.
Myself, will be dead in less than 23 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
As for the other, heaven have mercy on him, I do not know.
So things are looking pretty bleak right now.
On June 3rd, 1997, less than 2 months ago, the last of our supply ships blasted off from Lando for their return to Earth. After it had gone, I remember looking out across the plain at the dead city, one of thousands that dotted this planet. It had tall, graceful buildings, atomic power systems, vacuum conveyors, all perfect, all deserted.
I just want to throw in real quick. I got a few new drinks. If you guys follow me on Instagram or TikTok or anything, you've probably seen these. I have apple pie Baileys. I picked this up at the liquor store. Seasonal, I guess, limited edition. It tastes it's dangerous. It tastes so good. It says to drizzle it on your apple pie, but I'm just gonna drink it straight out of the bottle.
Aborigines back in the hills knew the answer. That
Yeah.
strange,
And then
little people
I have
taken to the caves
Crystal Head
I was
vodka.
thinking these things.
Is it, the bottle is like the
Something
coolest
happened
bottle I've
that
ever
gave me
seen.
shock
It's a skull.
Good evening,
It's
Captain.
awesome. If you want to see a picture of it, just go on my Instagram.
The matter of the serum, sir.
But it is like
What about
such.
the serum?
I did not expect
No
it to be
good.
that good.
No good.
It's too old. 10 years.
I guess I should.
Didn't you examine it?
Yes,
Let's do a little bit of Bailey's first.
Well, my eyesight has been failing lately.
Are you aware, Doctor, that the last supply ship has returned to Earth? Do you know we'll have no more contact for
Like
2
I said,
years?
just going straight out of the bottle.
Just, how long do you give us?
Well, the present immunity will last a week or so.
Oh, my God. That
Then,
is
without
so good.
booster shots, it's just a question of time until someone
70%.
picks up the plague. After that,
What about the natives? They don't die from the plague.
the accepted theory is that they have developed an immunity.
Or suppose they haven't developed an immunity, Doctor. Suppose they get the disease.
Then they must have a treatment for it. If they don't, there would be no natives.
Would you be willing to go on an expedition to the hills to find out?
At this point, Captain, I'd be willing to do anything. Absolutely anything. I am truly sorry.
You're sorry. Dr. Morgan, sometime when you aren't too busy, when you have a moment, I'd hate to inconvenience you. Would you mind telling me how it feels to murder 180 men? 181, including yourself.
Probably not too good.
I did a lot of thinking after Dr. Morgan left my hut. It was still unreal for me. After all, the planning of an expedition was no simple thing. You put into it the result of years of training and experience, years of study at the academy, years of learning how to handle men and natives. Every man on my crew was hand-picked for his skill. And yet, a simple thing like a myopic surgeon misreading a label could blast the whole thing. Yes, it was a shame. And I did the only thing I could think of. I yelled for Bat Ears Brady. Brady! Get your carcass in here. Take the
I
lead
think
out.
while I was talking, I kind of missed something important.
What's up?
Sit down, Bat Ears.
You got trouble, Cap?
We got trouble.
What?
The serum's no good.
What?
Morgan forgot to check it. It's 10 years too old.
Holy jumping snails. You're going to court-martial
That
that?
wouldn't do much good. We'll all be dead pretty soon unless somebody figures something out.
Well, what are you going to do, Cap?
Well, there's only one chance. One chance in 10 million.
What?
The natives.
Them cave rats.
Cave
What
rats!
can they do us?
They don't get the plague, so maybe they know a cure.
Okay. Let's get a few of them and beat it out of them.
That's why you're here.
Shoot.
How'd you like to come along on a little expedition up to the cave country? You, me, the doctor, and Faulkner.
Faulkner? Now, listen, Cap, he's worse than the doctor.
Yes, but he knows more about the native culture than anybody here. He's the only one who's completely familiar with the records of the first expedition.
Okay, so it's me, you, the doc, and Faulkner. When do we start?
Tonight, in half an hour.
Scott, Angry Orchard. I love Angry Orchard.
Luck, we'll be able to find natives before night.
I wanted something else with my White Claw.
Benny Faulkner was the expedition anthropologist. One of the most unfortunate-looking individuals I've ever met. An ugly man with large ears and a big nose. His body was small and consumptive, but he had a good brain. And he was the best anthropologist the Interplanet Institute could recommend. He and Dr. Morgan were the only two civilians on the expedition. We set out, and after several hours hard walking...
Cap,
What is it?
don't look now, but very slowly turn your eyes to the right and look behind that big yellow rock.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
You see anything?
Here's something.
No?
Keep looking. Don't stop walking or let on.
Okay.
There.
Yes, it looked like a shadow or something.
It's one of them gimpos. He's been following us now for almost an hour, dodging in and out behind the rock.
He's only just out pointing this out.
You mean?
No, not yet. Just pretend you don't see him. Tell the others, if they notice, to show no fear. There's nothing will start these simple-minded cavemen like fear. The manual said, under no circumstances shall a member of the patrol display fear before a native. The dignity of the Earthman
What?
must be preserved.
Yeah,
at all
right.
costs. Just before dawn, we reached the cave country. We were tired and hungry, and we stopped to cook some food and rest. Everything was quiet. There was no sign of the Gimpo, which had been trailing us.
No!
Okay, get in there, you sneaking little monkey man. Come on, before I break this shovel on your stern.
Yeah, what's the trouble?
Cap, I caught me one of these gimpos sneaking around outside the tent.
Bring him in the light of the fire. We can get a look at him. Faulkner?
Yes, sir?
Keep an eye on him. Try to establish some communication.
All right, get in there.
Look out. No need to knock him down, Batty.
Oh, that's the only language they understand.
See if you can reach him, Faulkner.
Okay, Captain. I'll need a drum of some sort.
A what?
Well, they have no language as we know it, and they have a very rudimentary sense of hearing. I find they communicate with one another through a very primitive kind of vibration of the tongue. The closest I can come is a series of drum beats.
How do you vibrate your tongue?
The psychologist on the first expedition had it worked out before he was killed by the plague. I've studied his notes, and I think it'll work.
You mean these little critters can talk to one another?
I believe they can. At any rate, we'll have a chance to find out. Do we have something I can use for a drum?
Here, take my water bottle.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, I'll tap it 3 times. That's a greeting of some sort.
Just a moment.
Yes, sir?
I don't want you treating this fellow like an equal. Don't give him the idea that we're desperate. Once they
This is
sense
messed up.
that, you're lost.
I have to communicate with him, sir.
Well, just bear in mind what I said. Dignity.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best, sir.
It was a strange sight. On one side of the water bottle crouched little Benny Faulkner, looking for all the world like a human spider. Across from him crouched the Landrian, a humpbacked, gray little creature with an enormous head and those huge...
I'm trying to
soft,
picture it.
rounder eyes. Every few moments, one would stop the strange tattoo of communication, and the other would take it up. I'm setting forth in this narrative the most vital part of their conversation, as Benny Faulkner later transcribed it from the best of his memory. Benny asked, "Why were your cities abandoned? Was it the plague?" The native said yes. Benny said, "Do you still fear the plague?" The native answered yes. "Do any of your people become afflicted?" The answer was some. "How do you treat them?"
You don't.
Silence. "How can we find a cure for the plague?" More silence. Then the native said, "Go among my people." Then he asked, "Will we find the answer among your people?" And the native replied, "My people have the answer." Then he said, "Will you tell me the answer?" The native repeated, "Go among my people." As far as the Landrian was concerned, the conversation was ended. He rose to go, and Faulkner stepped from his path.
I'm pouring some of this
Brady was
crystal
there
head.
to ensure the bet.
Hold on there, bucko.
The
You
bottle's
ain't-
awesome, but the only thing is that it's kind of hard to pour.
What did he say, Penny?
He says his people have the answer.
What do you think?
There may be some truth in it. He says some of his people still get the plague.
That must mean it isn't a question of immunity. They must have a cure.
Well, he wasn't clear on that.
Then they must have a vaccine to keep it from spreading.
Does he know?
His answer is for us to go among his people.
Well, that leaves it up to us. The first level of caves is on top of that cliff about a mile ahead.
It's a trap. I'll bet my last dollar on it.
Well, maybe not. And we'll have to risk it.
Wait.
Well,
Let me go. I got you all into this.
but how will you talk?
Benny here can give me enough of the code so I can ask the big question.
You understand that they might just decide to
That's
cut
pretty
your
good.
throat?
I'm fully aware of the risk.
All right, Doctor. You go ahead. We'll wait at the foot of the cliff. If you aren't back down in 3 hours, we'll come up after you.
What about the Gimpo here?
We'll hold him as a hostage to ensure the doctor's safety. If the doc comes back, all right, we'll let him go. If not, well, that's your job, Brady.
A pleasure.
It took Dr. Morgan about an hour to pick his way up the side of the cliff to the first of the openings where the Landrians lived. He waved to us before he entered the mouth of the cave, and we waved back. Then we settled down to wait. It was a long, long wait.
You must learn amongst my people and walk among them.
8 o'clock. He's been up there more than 3 hours, Cap.
We'll give him a little more time.
Got a lot of ice.
Let's keep that fire going.
How much longer are you going to wait, Cap?
Oh, we've got lots of time.
You'd think we'd have heard of something by now if they was going to knock him off, I mean.
No, not necessarily. Wait. Look, up on the cliff.
That's him, all right. Hey, what's he running for?
Oh, no, he looks scared.
That crazy fool, if he don't look out...
Doctor! Dr. Morgan, look out! Look out! We found the doctor at the foot of the cliff.
Jeez.
There were no marks on his body, nothing except a twisted, mocking grin on his face. Oh, yes, and one other thing. Scrawled across the pad he had taken with him on which to make notes concerning the answer was a single word. The word was courtesy.
What on
He
earth?
threw the paper away. The expedition was a failure. Though Bat Ears claimed he'd get it out of the Gimpo if I'd let him. I nodded in agreement. Bat Ears took the little native off behind an outcropping of rock. He was back in 15 minutes, dripping with sweat. Well?
Let's go, Cap.
Nothing, huh?
But nothing.
Is he,
They ain't made very good, these little gray people. They come apart too easy, so... Let's go. Cap.
What?
All right. Benny... Benny, what is it?
I feel kind of sick. All of a sudden, in the back of my head, a dull kind of pain.
Let me see your tongue.
Come
Come on, give him a hand, Bat Ears. We've got to get him back to camp.
What is it?
I'm not sure, but that blackness on the tongue and the headache,
Yeah.
it could be the plague.
You're screwed, dude.
By the time we got Benny Faulkner back to camp, he had the red spots on his body, and then the fever began to rage. It was the plague, no mistake about it. Before morning, Collins, the supply sergeant, had it. Then it was Peabody. After that, the men went down like 10 pins. Then one morning, Bat Ears Brady dragged himself into my tent and sat down. The lines in his face told me the end was coming pretty fast.
All right, so
Sit down, Brady.
as good as this is, the vodka,
what's the
drinking
count?
it straight,
6 left.
I think I've learned I'm not a vodka sipper. Like when I first tried it, I was like, "Oh, this is really
Sorry,
good,"
I'm all
but
out.
there's only
How about a cigarette?
so far that's gonna go.
Yeah, sure. Here.
Ugh.
How's Faulkner?
After the first sip, you're just like, Jesus
I
Christ.
get it. He's still alive.
Still alive?
Yep. In fact, he's getting better. He's sitting up.
Holy mackerel.
This is a good cigarette.
It's like any other.
No.
Whew.
It's different, Cap. This is my last.
What do you mean, Brady?
Take a look
Oh.
at my tongue. See? Little black spots.
Somehow I managed to get him into bed. He was already raving when I gave him the last of the morphine. It was incredible. Big, brawling, Bat Ears Brady, a tower of strength, lying sick and whimpering
Yep.
in a cot. When he died,
He is like the Rock. Their Rock, I
the
mean.
sun was a dull red glow. Cold breeze whipped up.
Oh,
Somehow
I gotta
couldn't
sneeze.
forget-
I've gotta mute myself.
Why should Faulkner recover from a plague from which no man has ever recovered?
All right, I'm back.
Surely there must be a reason. Nothing happened without a reason.
I didn't want to just do it like right to the mic.
Hello, Captain.
Hello, Benny. How are you?
Pretty good. I got up and walked a couple of steps today. How goes it?
Brady's gone. I just buried him. Listen, Benny, there must be some reason why.
Well, there's nothing strange about me, nothing different from any other man.
There must be. You survived the virus. Benny, I want you to tell me everything
Wait.
you know about yourself. Everything you
Oh.
can remember. Because somewhere in your makeup is some
I get
little
it.
thing that makes the difference. If I can find that thing, then maybe I can do something to save myself and the rest. Even if I can't, at least I can leave a record for any future expedition that comes to Landro. Okay?
Okay, Captain. Where should I start?
At the beginning. I'm going to take notes.
Well, I was born on the 2nd of July in 1971. My parents were ordinary people. My father was...
I think I know what's going on.
Look, Captain, I've told you everything I can remember. 3 days now you've gone over me, pawed me, questioned me. What else can I tell you?
Benny, let's go over that last part once again.
Where should I start?
Take it from where the native started to walk away. You stepped out of his path, and Brady grabbed him.
Okay, so I stepped out of his path.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why did you step out of his path?
Why not?
There it is.
Courtesy, I guess. What's the matter?
Courtesy. That's the word that Dr. Morgan had scrawled in his notebook.
Well, I don't see that...
I don't either. Tell me, Benny, why should you want to be courteous to a native?
Why not?
What about maintaining your own dignity?
Are you talking about dignity?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's dignified about being like a jerk?
I don't know. Benny, listen, maybe we were all wet in our deductions. Maybe these cities here on Landro weren't deserted centuries ago. Maybe these little people up in the caves are the same people who used to live in those big cities.
Why would they leave?
Maybe they found out the big cities weren't the answer. Maybe they found out that civilization doesn't necessarily bring happiness. So they just packed up and left.
That's the thing.
Oh, it doesn't make sense. You're forgetting the plague.
What is the plague, Benny?
Well, I don't know.
Is it a virus?
I don't think they ever found out.
You know what I think?
What?
I think the plague is nothing more than what we know as greed and arrogance.
Captain, you're going off your rocker.
I think maybe we're in line to die. Serum was good. In fact, I don't think the serum had anything to do with it.
Oh, I never heard anything as crazy.
It does sound kind of crazy.
Fantastic in my life.
No? Well, I think I'll go back to my tent and finish writing the report. I am beginning to sweat a little.
Captain, maybe it isn't the plague.
It is. I've seen it too many times to kid myself about it.
Maybe hot compresses or something.
No, Ben.
Listen, Captain, you don't believe that junk about courtesy, do you? I mean, that's a lot of nonsense. You must know that.
I feel like now that he knows, though, he should be fine.
You do believe it.
Or he has to do acts of courtesy, maybe.
Good night, Benny. I think I'd like to be alone for a while.
Okay. Good night, Captain.
Maybe the supply ship will be early. You can probably stick it out.
Sure. Good night, Captain.
And this concludes my report.
I like the sound of the pencil on the paper.
In the hopes that he will be able to transmit it to any other expedition commander who contemplates exploring the planet of Landro. The fever is beginning to mount now. My hands tremble as I write. The end should not be far off. There's little question in my mind as to what it will be. You see, I didn't have a chance. I stepped out of no paths. I showed no courtesy.
The end.
You have just heard -1 presented by the
I
National
wanted to say
Broadcasting
this
Company
earlier.
in
So
cooperation with Street and
the
Smith,
original writer,
publishers of
Clifford D.
astounding
Simak,
science fiction.
he
Tonight,
also
by
wrote,
transcription,
I knew that he wrote something that we liked, another show that we did, or we listened to, but I couldn't remember what it was at the top of my head before we got started, but it was Junkyard. And that was a really good story. I think Junkyard was better than this one,
Your announcer, Fred Collins.
but this one was also good.
Was directed by Ken McGregor. and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Simak definitely makes you think. He's certainly original.
The frontier.
There's always another
and the frontier
like
is
an
not always
aspect
easy
to it.
recognize.
Kind
May
of
lie on the other side of a
get
simple
your
door,
mind
no admittance.
wandering.
But it is always deadly dangerous. What happens when an innocent girl ignores a
All right.
single regulation? You will find out next week at
minus
X
one.
minus 1.
Yeah, but
When you buy United States savings bonds,
Okay, so-
you help to build your own
Got
future
ads.
security. Here's an opportunity to save systematically for long-range personal objectives. And with
I'm
their
trying to move
increased
the next
yield and other
show
improvements,
up so we can
U.S.
listen to
savings
it.
bonds are a better investment than
Oh,
ever
there we go.
before.
So, yeah, I think that one was good. Not as good as Junkyard, but yeah, I liked it for sure. But it kind of makes you it's so hard to talk when those ads are going on because they're so freaking loud. But yeah, I think that I don't know. So courtesy. Scientifically, it makes no sense at all. But I mean, hey, we're gonna roll with it. Sure. It was good. All right. Let's move into what's this one? Bad Medicine by Finn O'Donovan. This is our first Finn O'Donovan story. So hopefully this is good. And without further ado, let's do this.
In just a moment, X minus 1. But first, after a hard day's work, there's nothing more welcome than an evening of variety entertainment. And that's just the tonic provided tomorrow night.
All right.
NBC Radio.
Now that I'm
You'll
on
laugh
the
your
second
cares
show,
away when good-natured
I'm gonna
contestants
finish
carry
this
out the tickling
White Claw real
stunts
quick.
dreamed up by MC Jack Bailey on NBC's Truth or Consequences. Later on,
All right,
Groucho
that's
Marx
done.
peps things up with lots of
Now I'm onto my
spontaneous
Angry
good
Orchard.
fun and more of the friendly insults at which he is so accomplished. For a brighter, livelier evening tomorrow night, it's
Glad I
Groucho
remembered
Marx
my bottle
and
opener.
Truth or Consequences on this station. Now stay tuned for X minus 1 on NBC.
I had one shot of Bailey's and like
Countdown for blast off.
1.5 of the Skull vodka.
4, 3, 2.
I actually still have some left in my cup, but I
Fire.
really don't want it right now. I'm just gonna drink this Angry Orchard. It's not. Why is it not cold? What on earth?
From the far horizon.
I wasn't expecting that. It was like
transcribed tales of
cool,
new
like
dimensions in time
close to
and
room
space.
temperature.
These
It
are
has been in my
stories
fridge for
of the future.
2 days.
Adventures in which you'll
Sitting right
find
next to
a
the White
million
Claw, which was ice
years
cold. I
of
was
a
so
thousand
confused
maybe
right now.
worlds.
Is it because it's a glass
The National
bottle?
Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with
I don't know.
Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
I feel like... Wait, this show... This one's so much quieter. That's what it is. So all these MP3 files, they're not the same.
Bad Medicine by Finn O'Donovan.
They're not the same
First,
volume.
farmers know they
I'm looking
can't
at it
stop
now.
storms,
The
floods,
first
or
one was
droughts
like
from
5
ruining
times
crops.
louder.
But they
It
can
blew my
make
eardrums
sure
out, and
things
this one
like
I can
that
barely
can't
hear it.
ruin them
So I'll
by
fix that in post so
investing
you
in
guys
United
won't even
States
notice.
savings bonds. Not only farmers, but over 40 million Americans in all sorts of jobs own 40 billions of savings bonds.
I'm definitely going to turn
And
my
why?
volume up, though.
Because savings bonds are the easy way to start saving and to keep saving. And the money you invest
That's what we do. We're just going to listen to ads.
now and ready cash when you need it in the future. Improving the farm, sending the youngsters to college, or planning your own retirement.
There's no skip off. There's no skip button. It's not YouTube.
And besides offering you a safe investment, each Series
Oh,
E savings
jeez.
bond pays you back $4 at maturity.
This is
for
the
every
longest
$1 you
ad
invest.
break we've had yet.
Yes, you earn extra dollars while you save. So start saving now. For the big things in your life, be ready with United States savings bonds.
All right.
And now, on with our story.
We'll be sure to to get into the United States saving bonds.
On May 2nd, 2103, Elwood Caswell walked rapidly down Broadway. It was a gentle, misty spring day, and the air held the smell of rain and blossoming trees. But Elwood Caswell didn't smell the rain and the trees. He just gripped the loaded gun he had in his pocket. He didn't want to use the weapon, but he was certain that he would. This was justifiable. You see, Elwood Caswell was a homicidal maniac.
I don't know why that was funny to me.
Why shouldn't I kill him?
Hey, look out, will you?
Oh, sorry, sir. Only the other day he said to me, Elwood, you're looking very well. What business is it of his how I look?
Hey there, Elwood. Elwood.
Huh?
What business is it of yours,
I worked
friendo?
on the jet buses with you, remember?
Oh, yeah, of course. Hello, Marty. Forgive me, my mind was,
I didn't mean nothing
Yeah, I
by
know
it,
how
sir.
it is.
I'm just
A couple
passing
of
the
weeks
time.
ago, I was walking around in a fog so thick you could cut it.
Yeah, really?
Sure, preoccupied, you know. I had this idea in my mind.
You two?
Yeah.
The same person?
Huh?
Were you troubled by the same person?
My wife. Hey, you okay?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
Well, I had this idea, see? I was going to get rid of my wife.
Kill her?
Kill her? I mean, send her to a country for a week.
Oh.
You sure you ain't sick?
What?
No, I never felt better.
Well,
He
anyway,
said this
I was
dead
gonna take
serious.
a week off.
Kill
Quit
her.
the jet buses. Hey, can you imagine? I've been a jet bus operator for 10 years now, and all of a sudden, I feel like I can't take it for another minute.
I know how you feel.
And I was going to take a trip all by myself.
A trip?
To where? To the farthest place I could think, to Mars. I was just going to pick up and take a vacation to Mars. Silly, huh?
I don't know. What happened?
Well, I talked it over with Ethel.
Your wife?
Yeah. Ethel, she's a real sensible girl. You know what she did?
No, am I supposed to?
Well, Ethel went right down to that home therapy appliance store, and she says, you got a home therapy machine that'll cure my husband of this idea he can't stay on the jet buses?
I've heard that those machines aren't perfected.
They got him licked now. So, okay, she describes the trouble, and next day they deliver this thing, and boom, I plug it in, see?
And?
And a voice talks to me. It starts asking me questions.
Yeah, what kind of questions?
All kinds. Things I wouldn't even tell my own mother.
You told the machine?
Why not? It's only a machine.
Yeah, I see your point.
Well, then the machine starts to tell me a few things. And before I knew it, inside a week, I'm cured. Now, I can't wait to go back driving the jet buses.
You don't say.
So that's why I say I know how it is to have one thing on your mind all the time like that.
This machine, what did it cost you?
That's the beauty part of it. My Ethel. Boy, she's a smart girl. After a week, she sends it back, see? She says it don't work. So all we lose is the deposit.
I see.
Well, I gotta get back to work now. Hey, ain't you working the jet buses today?
Huh? No, I'm off today.
Well, I'll see you, Elwood.
Yeah, see you, Marty.
So, he has an idea.
Where they sell the home therapy machines.
Yeah.
Home therapy appliances. It's right down Broadway, about 2 blocks from here. So long, Elwood.
So long, Howard.
Perspiring freely, Elwood Caswell continued down Broadway toward 43rd Street. His friend Magnuson would be finishing work soon, returning to his apartment less than a block from Caswell's. Elwood gripped the gun tight.
Oh my God, there's something in my eye.
Would be to saunter in, exchange a word with him, and...
What the heck is in my eye, dude?
No, I won't do it. I don't really want to kill anybody.
Ah, jeez.
It isn't right. Think what'll happen. The authorities will lock me up. My friends won't understand, and... Mother would never approve. Still, if I
No, sir, no, sir.
I see his hateful, accusing face in front of me. Oh, this must be the store. Yeah. Home therapy appliances.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I show you some
I like
of
that.
our
I like the
home therapy
bell
appliances?
that rings when he
I
goes in the
want
store.
Quick. Of course, sir. This way, please. Now then, this is our new alcoholic reliever built by International Combustion Motors and advertised in leading magazines. A handsome piece of furniture. I think you will agree, and not out of place in any home. It also opens into a television set.
Look, what I need...
Therapy, of course. I just want to point out this model need never cause embarrassment to you, your friends, or your loved ones. Notice, if you will, the recessed dial which controls the desired degree of alcoholism. You see, heavy, moderate, social, light, and teetotal. A new feature unique in mechanotherapy.
I'm not alcoholic. The New York Jet Bus Authority does not hire alcoholics.
Oh, sorry.
I might be at this
seem
point,
fine.
guys.
No offense.
Please.
You seem rather nervous. Perhaps the portable anxiety reducer.
No.
Well, sir, perhaps if you told me just what you feel is bothering you.
What have you got for homicidal mania?
I beg your pardon.
Homicide. The
your
urge
pardon?
to kill someone.
Oh, of course. Well, let's see now.
Pardon me. Have you worked here very long?
A week. Oh, yes, here's the ticket. This black job with the chrome trim.
What is it?
This, sir, is a Rex regenerator, built by Planetary Motors Corporation. Handsome, Goes with any decor, opens into a well-stocked little bar, so your family, friends, loved ones need never...
Will it cure homicidal urge, a strong one?
Oh, absolutely. Don't confuse this with the
How would
little
he know?
10-amp neurosis model. This is a hefty, heavy-duty, 25-amp machine for really deep-rooted conditions.
That's what I've got.
Well, this baby will jolt you out of it. Big, heavy-duty thrust bearings, oversized heat absorbers, completely insulated. Sensitivity range
I'll
over...
take it.
Yes, sir.
With me, right now.
Now?
Before it's too late. I'll pay cash.
Well, yes, sir. It'll be a few hours before the warehouse can...
I'll take this one here.
Well, that's a floor demonstrator.
Does it work?
All of our demonstrators work, sir.
Then I'll take it. I can't wait for a warehouse. I can't wait for anything. Have it put in a taxi for me.
Yes, sir.
So he wants to be cured, though, so that's kind of admirable.
Magnuson, you know.
Who?
My friend, Magnuson.
Oh, of course. That'll be $400.59, sales tax included.
After Elwood Caswell left the store, the clerk, whose name was Haskins, smiled to himself and lighted a cigarette. He had made his first sale. He inhaled.
Haskins?
Yes, Mr. Follinsby?
Smoking. I asked you to rid yourself of that filthy habit.
Immediately, Mr. Follinsby. I'll use one of the display model denicotinizers at once. By the way, I just made a rather good sale, sir.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. One of our big Rex regenerators.
Well, now, it isn't often we... Wait a minute. Where's the floor model?
Well, sir, the customer was in an awful hurry. He was going to kill his friend.
You gave him the floor model?
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. Was there any reason why...
Oh, grief, Haskins. Didn't I inform you we never sell a floor model?
But, sir...
Good heavens, I've got to get to him. What was his address?
Address?
His name, then.
Well, he didn't say.
Then his check.
But he paid cash.
You mean you just let him pick up the machine and walk out?
Well, sir, he paid cash.
He was homicidal, you say?
Yes, sir. His friend...
I don't care about his friend. Get the police. No. Call the Planetary Motor Security Division. Quick.
Yes, at once.
Well...
Excuse me, Mr. Follinsby. What will I tell them?
Tell them, you fool. Tell them that one of our customers accidentally got that display regenerator they sent us. The one they shipped by accident. They were going to replace it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. The one they shipped by accident. Will they know?
If they don't be more explicit, tell them we've sold the Martian model. The one for treating psychotic Martians.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, Elwood Caswell had returned to his apartment and lugged the big black Rex regenerator.
I like this. This is good.
He put it down near the couch and studied it carefully.
He was right. It does go with the room. Now then, let's see those instructions. Place regenerator near a comfortable couch. All right. Plug in machine. There. Affix contact band to your forehead. That's all there is to it. Just turn on the machine and it will do the rest. There will be no language problem since your regenerator communicates with you by direct sensory contact, patent pending. Well, that seems easy enough.
I call bull. Guys don't read instructions.
On my head. And... blast it. Hello?
Elwood?
Yes?
This is Henry. Henry Magnuson. How are you, old boy?
I'm fine.
I wondered if you were doing anything tonight. Thought you might like to drop over for a game of chess.
Game of chess, huh? You stupid oaf.
What? I thought you called me a stupid oaf.
Just talking to my cat.
Oh, I didn't remember you had a cat. I thought you hated cats.
Oh, I do. This isn't really mine. It's a neighbor's. It keeps coming in.
Oh. What about tonight?
Will you be alone?
Well, yeah.
You haven't mentioned to anyone that you're inviting me over?
Not a soul. Why?
What the hell?
Someone's looking for me. A process server.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been avoiding him for days. I don't even leave word where I'll be when I go out.
You can trust me, Elwood. I'm your best friend.
Yes, you are. But not for long.
Huh?
Just talking to the cat again.
Oh. Well, will you be over?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, an hour will be fine. There are a few things I have to do
I just
first.
gotten some new laugh records from the boys at the office. I got something here that'll really kill you. So long, Elwood.
So long. I've got something here that'll kill you, too.
All right. I don't know why this is so funny to me.
X-1 will continue in 1 minute.
What?
Each of us has a personal reason for wanting to see cancer.
Yo!
Steve Allen would like to tell
They
you...
started adding ad breaks.
When I think about cancer going to strike one American in every...
Dude, this is the first one that we've been interrupted mid-episode by an ad.
Some people don't even want to think about
That's
it.
hilarious.
But pretending it's not a threat...
I think this is a 1956 show, so this started in 56.
Got to stand up to it.
All the 55 shows, I think, were fine.
Every one of it. American cancer...
We can pinpoint it to a year where everything went downhill. 1956!
But you and I have got...
I guess now's as good time as any to
Thank you,
have
Steve
another
Allen.
Bailey shot.
Remember, fight cancer with a checkup and a check. See your doctor once a year for a checkup. It's your best cancer insurance. And to help conquer cancer, send a check to your unit of the American Cancer Society. Make it generous.
And now, on with our story.
And we're back.
Taking the revolver from his pocket, Elwood laid it on the table in front of him. His face became suffused with hatred at the thought of Magnuson. He poked
Do I get ad revenue for this?
Magnuson, you no-good, shifty-eyed enemy of all that's decent in the world. The man who ruined my sister Irene. The man who...
No.
Wait a minute, Elwood. You have no sister, remember? No sister. Now, before you go off and commit murder, why not just try that machine just once, huh? Turn it on.
What the hell?
Okay, now reach over and...
Good afternoon, Elwood. I am your mechanical therapist. You may call me Gloop.
Gloop?
You seem surprised. It is a perfectly common name here on this planet.
Gloop. Of course. I've heard it many times.
Now then, I am scanning the material...
No, you haven't.
...with the intent of synthesis, diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment.
Yes?
I find... This is a most unusual case.
Really? I thought it was simple homicidal mania.
There is, of course, no such thing. You are obviously hallucinating a set of symptoms. Nonsense syllables to enable you to avoid the real problem.
Oh?
A most unusual set of symptoms, I must say.
Your pilot light seems to be fading.
My light is not fading. I am merely trying to relate your symptoms to proven theory.
Well, as long as you know what you're doing.
Mechanotherapy is an exact science, Elwood. It admits of no significant errors. We will proceed.
Good.
First, the word association test.
Fire away.
I will proceed to give a word. You answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Ready?
Ready.
House.
Home.
Planet.
Earth.
Just musing. Now, Fleeful.
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 That sounds like a Martian word.
Just give me a response.
Fleeful, Okay. I can make them up, too. Marfouche. That's a pretty good one, huh? Made it up in the spur of the moment.
Marfouche is very significant. It is a corruption of the Martian concept of fush clib. Very significant.
I don't know any Martian words.
Aha, noteworthy. We will proceed. Loud.
Soft.
Green.
Mother.
Thanagoyas.
Pathamathunga. How's that one?
Arides.
Nexothesmodrustica. Top that.
Kateeth of snow-hell gnoptices.
Okay. Rigamaroo, Kalamazoo, Iggity-bibbity-boo.
Good. It fits the pattern.
What on earth?
Neurosis. I can diagnose it now.
Go on.
You have a classic case of theme desire, complicated by strong dwarkish intentions.
I could have sworn I was homicidal.
The term has no referent. It must be rejected as nonsense. Now, if you'll just settle back on the couch, we'll proceed.
What did the storekeeper say was wrong with this
ugly man
this robot?
His way through the doors of home therapy appliances. His clothing, unpressed and uncaring, hung on him like corrugated iron. When the clerk, Hoskins, approached him, he flipped back his lapel to show a small silver badge underneath.
Sir,
John Rath, Planetary Motor Security Division.
Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Follinsby, Mr. Follinsby.
Hello, Follinsby.
Mr. Rath,
Well?
so far we haven't a single lead.
You're certain he never mentioned his name?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now think. Is there anything significant?
Is it serious, Mr. Rath?
Mr. Follinsby, this man is homicidal.
Won't it treat him?
Homicide is unknown on Mars. It'll treat him for the most likely Martian sickness.
What would that be?
Theme desire, Mr. Follinsby.
Theme desire?
It's a Martian illness in which the victim feels cursed by the tree-like nourishing parent, although, of course, Martians don't have parents in the ordinary sense. Well, Haskins?
I remember one thing. He mentioned he was a jet bus operator for the New York Jet Bus Authority.
Ah.
One other thing.
Yes?
I believe...
okay. I kind of missed part of the story somehow. I understand.
Excellent. It'll be on his records. Get the Jet Bus Authority at once.
I understand. I never really clued in on what they were talking about when they were talking about jet bus.
But surely, Elwood, you remember your Gorisy.
No.
Tell me then about your juvenile experiences with the Forrestrian fleet.
Never had one.
Complete blockage.
My father...
There is no such thing, of course.
But...
I thought we'd finally...
My father was
Okay, if you say so.
a drinker.
Now then, since you claim you don't even know what a Gorisy is, tell me
Why?
what
He goes off crazier than usual.
A forest fire.
Why so serious?
A salt tablet? A small screwdriver? Am I getting warm? A revolver? What the heck is a Gorisy?
Why, the tree that nourished you into puberty.
No tree nourished me.
You have completely repressed the experience.
No tree ever nourished me.
Mr. Caswell, let me try to explain your case as best I can.
But,
Somewhere in your childhood, your Gorisy, or parent tree, stifled your theme desire. Now, this gave rise to your present urge to dwark someone in a Vlendish manner.
To what?
To dwark someone in a Vlendish manner.
Listen, you crummy piece of hardware. I have never had a Gorisy. I have no desire to dwark someone in a Vlendish manner or any other manner. All I want to do is put a bullet into Herbert Magnuson. Understand? All I want to do is kill Magnuson.
Lie down, Mr.
Jesus.
Caswell. We'll go over it again.
My dear man, I'm not trying to insinuate that the Jet Bus Authority hires alcoholics. If you will just...
Any luck?
It's a dead end. Now, Haskins.
Yes, sir.
A man's life may be at stake here. Now think. Was there anything else this fellow said to you? Anything?
Well, he did mention the name of his friend.
Of which friend?
The one he was going to kill.
The one he... Why didn't you say so? Now, what was it?
Magnuson.
You sure?
That's it. He said, I'm going to kill Magnuson.
Yeah, that's some important information that he just left out.
See if there's a Magnuson in the Manhattan phone book. Now, hurry it up.
Yes, Mr. Caswell, you were saying?
Well...
Something about your Gorisy?
Yes, I was saying I think perhaps you're right.
Naturally. But right about what, Mr. Caswell?
Well, I think perhaps... Yes, I think perhaps I do remember my Gorisy.
Ah! Now, Mr. Caswell, we're on the road to a cure.
Oh, hell no.
Mr. Magnuson?
Yes?
Do you know a short, angry-looking, red-haired man?
I might.
Thank heaven.
Or I might not.
Can you tell us where to locate him?
You're a process server, huh?
Certainly not.
Don't kid me.
Mr. Magnuson, this man is trying to kill you.
Go on, you're full of happy pills. Elwood's my best friend.
Elwood?
He loves me like a brother. And if you think I'm going to stick some process server onto
Mr.
him...
Magnuson, I'm not a process server. Your friend Elwood is a psychopathic killer. You're his intended victim. Can you get that through your thick skull? I'm trying to save your life.
What would you do if someone told you that about your friend?
Yes.
You're Elwood Caswell?
Yes.
The Elwood Caswell who bought a Rex regenerator early this afternoon?
Yes. Won't you come in?
Thank you. My name is Rath, Planetary Motors.
Nice to meet you.
Have you used the machine?
Oh, yes.
I see. Mr. Caswell, I don't know how to explain this, but we made a terrible mistake. The regenerator you took was a Martian model for giving therapy to Martians.
I know.
You do?
Yes, it became pretty obvious after a while.
Well, it was a dangerous situation, especially for a man in your condition.
Yes, the poor thing tried its best, but of course it couldn't cure what wasn't there.
There's some twist about to happen.
The company will, of course, reimburse you for your lost time and your mental anguish.
Naturally.
And we will substitute a regular human-type regenerator.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You see...
Mr. Caswell, will you put down that gun? I warn you.
I'm not going to shoot you. I merely want to turn this gun over to you.
You do?
Yes, I'm not going to shoot anybody.
You mean that...
The machine's attempt at therapy forced me to reappraise my whole self. There was an insight during which I was able to get rid of my obsession.
You no longer want to kill your friend Magnuson?
Kill Magnuson? Why, I haven't the faintest urge.
Well, I must say, then, that it worked out for the best. I'll get back to the store and have him pick up this machine in an hour, and... Oh, well, sir...
don't forget to take this gun. I won't need it.
Of course. Well, nice to have met you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Did you hear that? He asked me if I still intended to kill Magnuson. Magnuson, that inhuman monster who cut down my Goracy. Magnuson, the man who even now is secretly planning to infect New York with abhorrent fiend desire. Am I going to kill him? Oh, no. I wish him a long life. A life filled with the torture I can now inflict on him. Kill Magnuson? Oh, no. I'm going to start right now to work him in a Vlendish manner.
You have just heard X-1 by the National Broadcasting Company in
this poor
Galaxy Science
Fred,
Magazine,
dude.
which this month features
is going to be tortured instead of just killed.
Simak. The story
of
a general with the distasteful assignment of meeting a delegation of unmilitary clowns.
You guys, let me know what you thought.
As conquerors.
I thought they were both pretty good. I think I was a little more invested in that one, in the last one, Bad Medicine, than the first story. But yeah, they're both pretty good. Or there's gonna be another ad. That's what this has to be, right? I don't know what's happening right now. All right. Yeah, we get it. What is this, dude? I can't even. Oh, let me try and finish this Angry Orchard before the song ends. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Oh. Yeah. Not much of a challenge, but I don't feel very good now.
Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Bad Medicine, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Finn O'Donovan and adapted for radio by George Leffert. Featured in the cast were Cliff Carpenter.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so... Yeah, they're both pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Also, I've been working really hard on my social media. Like my Instagram. I have a TikTok now, and I've been putting together videos and stuff to entertain you guys when I don't have actual podcast episodes coming out. So I only post like once or twice a week. I've been trying to do 2 times, but yeah, in the meantime, guys, check out my social media, and all those links will be in the description, of course. But yeah, I stay connected with you guys and give you guys content and stuff. So hopefully you find it interesting. We're working really hard on it.
Childbirth and postnatal care.
If there are any X Minus shows that you want me to do, hit me up and I'll definitely do them for you guys. I've been kind of thinking about turning this series into a video series, so I might actually like record my reactions. That could be kind of interesting. Maybe even do it like a live show. That could be fun. But I don't know. It's just something I'm kind of mulling over. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know.
Each day from Taylor Caldwell's book, Tender Victory. Be sure to join Virginia Graham and Mike Wallace.
This X-1 episode had a lot of ads and a lot of extra talking. I'm not used to this. Like a solid minute of them just talking about nothing related to the thing. It's finally over now. All right, guys. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up. This was pretty fun, and you guys should need to look forward to my next video coming out Monday, and it's going to be the next part to my Great Silence Fermi Paradox kind of theme thing that I'm doing for my educational videos. But yeah, they'll be coming out soon, so keep an eye out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Remember to raise your telescopes and never stop on your quest for knowledge, except for maybe a drink. This is The Bar at the Edge of the Universe. I've been your host, Adrian Maddox. Thank you, and good night.